A question that people have asked me a lot is, why did God allow bondservants according to the Old Testament law, or why did they allow, for there to be sort of slaves, if you were, in those sort of time? And I want to address that because we have to make a distinction between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. If God allows something, I've always been on here talking about God is love and that his heart behind it is always love. But many people have not been able to answer this question satisfactorily. And many people erroneously always point to the letter of the law and say, you see, bond servanthood was in the Bible. And so therefore, it's perfectly okay, without understanding the reason why God allowed it in the first place. Well, if you want to really understand, let's go deep and really kind of break this down. The first thing is, it's called bond servant, or the word bond is the word debt. So it's debt servanthood. That means that the person who has decided to be who is a bond servant rather, is somebody that owes a debt that they cannot pay. And so therefore they have decided to put themselves into service, into somebody else's service, right? And they will work away their debt. That is what Jesus was for us in a sense, right? We were bond servants, or we were slaves of sin, right? And we owed, right, a price that we could not pay. And that's why Jesus came to pay the price for us so that we could go scot-free. Well, in the old covenant, right, when somebody owed a debt, they also had to pay that price before they could go away sort of scot-free. That was the idea behind it. Now, why did God set this up? If you take a look at it, the Bible talks about the children of Israel, and he says, listen, if you follow my word and do every single thing that I'm asking, then guess what? You will be ahead and not beneath. And then it says something, you will lend and not borrow. Okay, so the blessings of God will follow them. They would lend and not borrow. If somebody is going to be a bond servant, that means that they owe debt. That means they've borrowed money that they have to be able to pay back. That means that there's something that has gone a little bit wonky in their life. Maybe they don't know the principles of God, or they don't know how to apply the principles. But here's the thing. Then God allowed those persons to come in and to work for somebody else. And the way that God set it up is after 6 years, then the person had to be set free. And not only after the person is set free, then guess what? The person will not leave empty-handed, but the person who they were working for will give them a lot of stuff for them to be able to go on their own and then, start their life over again. So what is the heart behind this? The heart behind this is what? It is resuscitation of the person. It is the rehabilitation of the person. It's tutelage of the person so that the person can have an example of somebody that's doing it right, understand how they're living, understand what they're doing in regards to farming, etc., and understand and learn from that person to some degree, whereby after the 6 years maximum, on the 7th year, they're set free with things in hand and they don't have to make the same mistakes again. So you see, if you take a look at the idea of what God really allowed, it was to help somebody, instead of going poor and everything else like that, coming under, working away their debt, because yes, there you are reaping what you've sown. But at the same time, it's about helping the person be tutored, be rehabilitated, and to learn exactly how to go about it so that after they've done that, in the 7th year, the person is set free, and then they can go about their life. This is important to understand. Because if you do not understand this, then you will think about what God has set up and the heart behind it, and you will try to marry it with what actually happened, or how people bastardized it, for lack of a better word, or changed it around and turned it into something that God did not intend, which was taking people that didn't have a debt or anything else like that, putting them into forced servitude without the heart of rehabilitating, really tutoring the people for their lives to be better than it was. So again, when you're reading the Bible, don't just read the letter of the law. Take a look at the heart of God in setting things up. Read the book of Deuteronomy and truly see what God is trying to do. Otherwise, you're going to get the wrong impression of God, and then you're going to start to say things are okay. And you're going to start to think that God really doesn't love some people, but he does. Read the full context of the Word of God, and you will see a loving God in every single thing that is set up. Again, people have said this, right? The Old Testament is the New Testament concealed, and the New Testament is the Old Testament revealed. In the New Testament, you see all about the heart of God through sending His Son, Jesus Christ. If you read the Old Covenant and you're not seeing the heart of God and the love of God and the things that it's doing, you know what? Don't just take your own mind to just say, hey, you know what? This is what it means, and etc. Right? Take your time and watch videos like this. Learn from people who understand the Word of God so that you get a true understanding of what it is. I hope you got something from this video, and I hope that this video allows you to go back into those scriptures in Deuteronomy and truly read it again to really see what the heart of God is. God is love, is wonderful. He loves all of humanity, and He comes to bring freedom. Every single thing He instructs us to do is not to what prevents us from living the best life. It's actually to help us and to motivate us to live in the best life. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.